Hello, you guys. My name is Sean. This is my first time on here, and I want to share a story with you guys. A lot of people, you know, don't believe in ghosts and, paranormal activities, and, until it happened to them. Me, personally, I've been experiencing it for quite some time now, and it's getting stronger and stronger. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened to me when I was working. I had an out of body experience. I wasn't sleeping, I was actually getting ready for work. And hold on, that's somebody texting me. Anyway, and it was creepy, it was scary because I've seen, different stuff and I experienced different stuff, but this particular time, it was scary. And it was like, I didn't, it was scary. I didn't know what to do. But anyway, I used to work at this nursing home. I used to work 3 to 11. And they needed somebody. I was off. And they needed somebody to work the night shift. 11 to 7. Well, 10:30 to 6:30. It was 2:30 till, it was 2:30 to 10:30. That was the shift. But anyway, I was off that day. So they wanted me to work the night shift. So I agreed because it was extra money. And this lady, she was sick. And she was, you know, how you get attached to, certain residents and stuff. So I got attached to her. And she was sick and, she was on her dying bed and stuff like that. And I would go take care of her and all that. So anyway, she they had, we had to monitor her and make sure she was, clean or whatever because it was any given day. So long story short, I was getting ready for work and I had got out the shower, put my uniform on and all that. It was about 8 o'clock when I was finished all that. So I said, let me sit down and watch TV until I get ready to go to work. So I'm sitting in my room and I'm watching TV. I started watching it and, and all of a sudden I just zoned out. Like, I don't know, I don't remember nothing. I just zoned out. I was just sitting there like it was just a shell sitting in that chair. It was scary, believe that. And so, I dream, I mean, not dream, it's like my soul left my body and went to the nursing home. Yeah, it's creepy. So it was like, I was working, but I was at home. You understand? It was out of body experience. So, the nurse that was working with me, it was a male nurse. So when I got to the job, I went and I, clocked in and did all the things. So I'm sitting behind the nurse's station and I was on the computer doing some work or whatever. So the lady who I was telling you about that was passing, she was coming out of her room. It wasn't her, it was her spirit. So I'm sitting there and I was like, and I turned around and I glanced at her. And I turned around and looked at the nurse, and there was a guy nurse. And I said, did y'all check on Miss So-and-so? I don't want to call her name, because, I don't want no conflict. So I said, did y'all check on Miss So-and-so? And he said, yeah, I just left out the room. she okay. You know, we just got to keep monitoring her. And I said, you sure? And he said, yeah. Why? I said, because I just saw her come out the room. And he looking at me crazy like, how you just saw her come out the room? You know, she can't do nothing. She's, you know, is just any given day. And I said, no, I just saw her spirit come out the room. Mind you now, again, this is an out-of-body experience. And so I said, I think you need to check on her. And so he looked at me and he got up. As he was walking towards her room, she was coming towards me. And like they passing each other. Now he don't see her, but they passing each other. I see her. So she gets right in front of me by the nurse's station. And I wasn't scared at first. I wasn't scared during that time, you know, my out-of-body experience. I guess it was meant for me to see it. But anyway, she was right in front of me. And I looked up at her. And I say, you finally at peace, huh? And I just laughed. You know, not laugh, I smiled because all she did was smile. She used to smile and grab my hand and kiss my hand. And I said, you finally at peace, huh? And I called her by her name. And she looked at me and she started smiling. And she looked the other way towards her room, but it wasn't her room. It was like over my shoulder. And I looked at her and I said, I can't see it. I say, but you know, maybe, you know, that's where you need to be at. It's beautiful, huh? And she said, she didn't say nothing. Again, she just smiled. And I said, you know, you can go ahead. I said, it's beautiful on that side. And I said, you have a lot of people that's waiting on you. I said, you can go. I said, you're going to be all right. And she looked at me and she smiled and she blew me a kiss and she just went over my shoulder. I didn't see her no more. So as he was coming back out the room, he coming back in disbelief. Now this whole time, I'm talking to her and I like crossed over. He coming out of the room in disbelief and he looked at me. He said, you never even went back there to that room. How you know what was going on? I said, I told you I saw her spirit. And I said, why? What happened? He said, she passed away. And I'm looking like my eyes got bucked. Like, wow. And I'm saying, Lord, I done crossed this lady over. And I didn't say nothing. I said, but I told him, I said, I told you, you know, I told you. So he was like, wow. And so he said, I got to call her, you know, her daughter and let her daughter know, you know, what was going on. So he did that. In the process of doing that, like I must have snapped out of it. You know, I guess once I completed my mission, I must have snapped out of it. So what happened was I jumped up. It you know, I guess my soul came back to my body and I jumped up. And I looked at the time and the time was 9:30. And I said, oh Lord, let me get up out of here. I said, I've been sitting there all this long time. I said, let me get up out of here. So when I actually went to work that night, it wasn't a male nurse, it was a female nurse. I actually had that side and I was doing my rounds. And they moved her from the room that she was to the back room to give her peace. And so, and I didn't know that then. The room that I seen, that was the back room. But before then, she was in another room. I didn't know she was in the back room. But when I got there, she had the same room that I was telling you about. That's the room they moved her to. And I went to her room, her original room, and she wasn't there. So I asked what she was. And they told me. And when they told me, I looked over there and I'm like, wow. I didn't think nothing of it. I ain't paying no mind. So I'm doing my rounds, you know, checking them, changing them, or whatever. So I get to her room, and her daughter was there. And I mean, her daughter was pretty cool. And I wanted to tell her, but then I said, no, I don't know how people going to take it. So I was scared. So I went in there. I hugged the daughter and everything. So I left, and I went in another resident room and was changing them. And some in me was saying, you got to tell her. You know, you got to tell her. You can't let that go. You know, it was nobody but God. That's what I'm saying. You got to tell her. You can't let that go. You gotta tell her what you feel. You gotta tell her what you seen, what you heard, or whatever, because I crossed her mama over. And something in me was telling me to let her know, because she was grieving, to let her know that her mama was in a better place, that she was okay, that, everything was going to be all right. So after I finished changing that other resident, I went back to her room. And I said, I called her by name. I said, can I talk to you for a minute? And she said, sure, Sean, you can. You can talk to me anytime. And I said, I don't know how to say this. I said, but it was, I guess it was a sign from God, and for me to tell you this, and I went to explaining what happened and stuff, and I was saying, God told me to tell you that she's in a better place, and she's all right. She's gonna be all right. That's just, a shell. You know what I'm saying? She's already gone. That's a shell. And she just started crying, and she just hugged me, and she said, "Thank you so much, Sean. I needed that," and I hugged her, and I left out, and I started cleaning up and went in another resident room. As soon as I went in that room, one of my coworkers came in the room by me and said, "I'm sorry." And I said, "Sorry for what?" She said, "Miss so-and-so passed away." And I just dropped everything. And I'm like, wow. I said, I just seen this. And everything that I seen, it came to pass. Like, wow, I really crossed this lady over. She was waiting, I guess, for me to come so she can go. And it freaked me out. I didn't know what to do. Like, I had to leave, and I didn't even go home. But I went downstairs, I had to smoke a cigarette. I was stunned. Like, that never happened to me before. And it was just unbelievable. I was like, oh Lord, I said, I never crossed nobody over. So, with that being said, me personally, I think spirits do exist, and everybody have their own calling, some who don't see it, they don't believe in it, you know what I'm saying? Until they see it and experience it, then they can say, oh yeah, it's true. But to the non-believers, don't judge nobody. If you never seen it, then that it's not for you. But you can't tell nobody what they seen or what they didn't see or what they experienced or what they didn't experience. Because that's just like me telling you what you seen and what you didn't experience. You know, that's what they seen. People not crazy. I'm not crazy. I have all my senses. But, this really scared me. So, thank you guys from listening to me and sharing this, and more videos will come. And I thank you so much for watching it. Stay tuned for more. Bye, YouTubers.